ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. All praise is due to Allah. We praise Him and we seek His forgiveness. And we ask Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala to shower His peace and blessings upon the Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and upon his family, companions, and all those who hold firm upon the Sunnah until Yawm al-Qiyamah. We continue with the book, Important Lessons for Every Muslim. We are up to lesson 16, I believe, Surah Al-Falaq. And we apologize that for the last 2 weeks we haven't been around, but alhamdulillah, Allah allowed us to be here today. Barakallahu fikum. بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل أعوذ برب الفلق من شر ما خلق ومن شر غاسق إذا وقب ومن شر النفاثات في العقد ومن شر حاسد إذا حسد. Say, I seek refuge with the Lord of the daybreak, Allah, from the evil of what He has created, from the evil of darkness when it settles, from the evil of witchcraft when they blow in the knots, and from the evil of the envier when he envies. Chapter 113, verses 1 to 5. When Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, He says, say, I seek refuge with the Lord of the daybreak is the morning. And Allah being the Lord of the morning. This means I seek refuge with Allah, the one who splits the morning. It has also been said that it means the one who splits the seeds. The seeds. And Allah says from the evil of what He has created. This means from the evil of every created being that has evil in it. And this is general refuge from all created beings that contain evil. From this we understand Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created that which is evil. And we are not ones whom are naive, that we believe everyone wants good for us, or everyone wishes well for us. We know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created from His ultimate wisdom that which is evil in order to be a test for mankind and jinn kind. Now this surah, the name of this surah comes from the word which is mentioned in the first verse, which is Al-Falaq, which is the daybreak, being the morning. In this surah, when one recites it, they are seeking refuge from the evil found in the creation of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. So we now know that Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala has created from that which is evil. And what is upon us to do? To live about life as per usual. Our job as Muslims, as mu'mineen, is to seek refuge by Allah from the evil of His creation. And do we seek refuge in other than Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala? No, never. Doing such is what? Shirk, wal-'iyadu billah. So this is one of the 2 surahs that the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he would recite in order to seek refuge from the evil of the creatures. The Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam taught us this. He taught us that the recitation of this surah, and which other surah? An-Nas. And what are they both known as? Al-Mu'awwidhatan. Why? Barakallahu fiqh. And the surah starts with, I seek refuge. Qul a'udhu. Qul a'udhu. Both surah. Barakallahu fiqh. So this surah teaches us that there are those from the creation who not only are evil, so they have been created and they have come from the evil of creation, but that they also wish evil upon us. That they sought evil against the mu'mineen. This is what they have chosen. This is the path they have taken. That they have set aside all other matters of life, and they have made their main preference, their main obligation upon themselves is to bring evil to the Muslims. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us. And it is upon us as mu'mineen, as wise men and women, to be wary of this. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, did He leave us and told us to go about fighting this evil not knowing how? No, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He gave us the means in order to be given protection against such evil, no matter how strong people may think this evil can be. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the greatest, all powerful. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wishes for us well, then nothing but well will come to us. And if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wishes for us evil to fall upon us, then that will come. However, if we seek refuge in Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala from such evil, then we are considered from those whom are protected. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us and our families from those whom are protected. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says, from the evil of darkness when it settles. Meaning from the night and what is in it. From the vermin and beasts of prey, what is provoked by the devils and the evil which is stirred. Let us just think about this for a moment. And inshallah I'll touch upon it again. But we here know from this ayah that what occurs in the night time? Evil occurs. So from the beasts that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created, from the nocturnal beasts, predators, we know they are from those predators that come out at night. And we also know that the shayateen and their soldiers and so on, they gather at night too. And that is when they are in greatest of numbers, in the night time. So for this reason, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has ordered us to seek refuge in Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala from the evil of darkness when it settles. And from the evil of witchcraft when they blow in the knots. Meaning, from the magicians who blow in knots until their magic is able to take effect. In order to be very clear what it means by knots, literally, for example, grabbing a piece of string and tying a knot. Tying a knot. Tying knots is from, and doing such with the intention of magic and so on, as we will come to find a hadith which had occurred, narrations which had occurred, we'll see into them inshaAllah, that this is from the magic of the magicians. And it does not have any effect, and this was a major point that we must understand. It does not have any effect except by the permission of Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala. So the evildoers, they plot, they plan, they act upon what they wish to do. But if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wills, they can act from now to Yawm al-Qiyamah, nothing will come of it. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wills, if they are to harm someone, that person will be harmed. It is only by the permission of Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala that such occurs. So knowing this, we know that this magician has no power. لا يفلح الساحر حيث أتى. The sahir, the magician, will never be victorious wherever he may go. It is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who allows them the permission to be able to cause harm or not to be able to cause harm. Seeking refuge in Allah from them is proof that magic is real and that it has an effect. Often we come and see, Allahu Alam, the new generation, probably not, but I have noticed myself personally that the older generation, they tend to disregard magic altogether, as though it is something of a fairy tale. We understand from the surah, from the narrations, that magic is real. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has allowed for magic to take place in this dunya as a fitna for mankind. And the very origin of magic comes from thousands of years ago. And we won't go into too much detail because it's another dars altogether. But magic is real. That's what we need to know. And then we'll come to see, in regards to those who perform it, what is their circumstance. And that magic, some of it kills, while some of it makes people sick, and some of it separates a man from his wife. And I seek refuge in Allah for all of us. And I ask Him to protect us all. Because magic is real. To the point, as understood here by the Shaykh, that it may kill a person, may render a person ill, or separate man from wife. And from the evil of the envier when he envies. This means from the envy of every envier when it arises. Included in this is the evil eye. Because the evil eye only comes from envy. The evil eye is what? As the Rasul ﷺ said, Al-Aynu haq. It is real. It does occur. It is not a fairy tale. The eye comes with the evil intention in order to take a barakah away from the one who possesses that which is of good. And this is what comes with the evil of the evil eye, of Al-Ayn. Now let us enter into the virtues of Al-Mu'awwidatan. What are they? Uqbah ibn Amir said that the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam had mentioned, have you not seen that there have been verses revealed tonight, the like of which have not been revealed before? قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ الْفَلَقِ قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ النَّاسِ. And Al-Bukhari and Muslim, they narrated the hadith of Ma'mar from Az-Zuhri, from Urwa, the Aisha radiyallahu anha, she said, in his last illness, what does his last illness mean? The Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam's last illness. This was the last illness he had before he died, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he used to breathe into his cupped hands. Now, can someone show me how? Barakallahu feek. He used to breathe into his cupped hands in such a way. Yeah? He used to breathe into his cupped hands and recite Al-Mu'awwidhatayn, Surah Al-Falaq wa Surah Al-Nas, and then wipe over his body. But when his illness aggravated, I used to recite them over him. This is Aisha saying such, and pass his own hand over his body for its blessing. What is this known as in Arabic? Ruqya. Ruqya. This is from the means of shifa, of healing oneself from illness, from sickness. Ma'mar asked Az-Zuhri, how did he used to blow breath? He said he used to blow into his hands, then pass them over his face. Now, also mentioned, the Aisha said that the Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam every night will blow into his hands at night and recite Al-Ikhlas, Al-Falaq and Al-Nas, and wipe his head, his face, his body 3 times. What is this known as part of being? Adhkarun Nawm, barakallahu feek. The dhikr of sleeping. Performed as such. The Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam would cup his hands. He would recite قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدْ قُلْ أَعُوذُ رَبِّ الْفَلَقِ قُلْ أَعُوذُ رَبِّ النَّاسِ. Blow into the hands 3 times. Wipe over the face, the head, and then as far as his hands could reach. Repeat it 3 times. This is from Adhkarun Nawm, the dhikr of sleep, before sleeping. Whilst the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam was in bed. What is this a protection from? Or what is the purpose of this? I sort of gave that away, didn't I? What is the purpose of such? A protection from all evil. A protection from what happens at night, often to some people. What occurs from evil that is unpleasant? Nightmares. Barakallahu feek. Nightmares. Often people have nightmares. What is a nightmare? Yeah, but what is it caused by? Shaitan. Nightmares come from shaitan. When one recites such surah, such adhkar, he's protected from such evil such as the nightmares. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allows for a protection to befall him until he wakes or she wakes. And also from the other adhkar which are mentioned in the adhkar al-nawm are what other surah? Ayat al-Kursi, last two ayat of Surah Al-Baqarah. Have we heard that one before? آمن الرسول بما أنزل إليه من ربه إلى آخره. Yeah? These are from the Adhkar al-Nawm. There is also dua which is recited and then you go to sleep. Also, a very important one, Al-Mulk protects for you from what? Punishment of the grave. Barakallahu fiqh. And what is another one that is very simple for everyone to do? Surah Al-Baqarah, yeah. What is a very important one? It's very easy for us to do. Did someone? Wudu, barakallahu fiqh. Yeah, that's one. One very easy one. Tasbih. From the tasbih. So what is also from the virtues of the tasbih from Adhkar al-Nawm? Can anyone mention? What is it a means for? Strength, barakallahu fiqh. There was a story, a narration between the daughter of the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Fatima, and the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, without getting too deep into it, from the tasbih, Subhanallah 33, Alhamdulillah 33, Allahu Akbar 34, then going to bed. From this is a means for a person to attain strength, physical strength, literally, physical strength throughout their life. Have that intention in your mind, insha'Allah ta'ala, it'll allow a person to gain that strength throughout their time. Barakallahu fikum. No. And I didn't want to get into Sarah, but inshallah we'll talk about it after the dance if we want to know.
Just as a proof that
it's we should get into, just so for the people online as well. So the Fatima radiallahu anha, she asked the Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam for a slave to help her in the home. What can a slave offer you? What can a person offer you from assistance? Other than strength. In assistance, physical assistance. And the Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam offered her something better than that. And he told her about the tasbih before going to sleep. So this is a means for us to attain strength bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, physical strength. Then there is also other matters which we can use and as a means for us to be protected always. Can someone mention what they are? Barakallahu fiqh. Yes, something more specific that I was talking about, that I'm trying to get at. Happens twice. A means of attaining protection. Yeah. Morning and night. Adhkar al-sabah wal-masa. Barakallahu fiqh. Dhikr that is made in the morning for the morning, in the morning for the day, and dhikr that is made just before night time to protect you throughout the night. This dhikr is not short, but it is something which is of a means to protect you always. The dhikr involves many of the surah that were mentioned previously and many ad'iyah in addition to that. The dhikr of the sabah is best mentioned to recite it between Fajr and Shuruq al-Shams and sunrise. In order, by the time the day comes at sunrise, you have already fallen into the protection of Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala. And the adhkar al-masa, the dhikr of the night, is best time to be recited after Asr and before Maghrib. So upon the entry of the night at Maghrib time, you have already fallen into the protection of Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala. Now some of the ulama, they mention, they gave such significance to adhkar al-sabah wal-masa that they said, the one whom does not recite adhkar al-sabah wal-masa is like a warrior going into battle without his sword. What is the use of a warrior going to his battle without his sword? What will happen to him? Annihilated, finished. He has no other chance. We don't have a chance going about day and going about night without adhkar al-sabah wal-masa. A protection from magic, a protection from evil eye, a protection from coronavirus even, from the darar of physical darar, spiritual darar, all of them. This is a protection from Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala for each and every one of us. أصلاح بين يدينا بين يدينا نعم يعني between our hands, it is a weapon for us to use. We should never let it go. Memorize it, recite it until we memorize it بإذن ta'ala, and use it. We teach our children inshallah so that they بإذن ta'ala will be able to use it. And making dhikr often. What is the parable used for the ones who make dhikr and the ones who don't make dhikr? The difference between those whom remember Allah and those whom do not remember Allah often. Like the living and the dead. Like the living and the dead. So what does the dhikr of Allah give you? Life. Barakallahu feek. The dhikr of Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala not only gives you protection, but gives you a valued life. It gives you hayat. It gives the person a reason to live. It gives them that energy throughout the day, that motivation, that's something to look forward to bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. Now from the asbab al-nuzul regarding al-mu'awwidhatan. What are asbab al-nuzul in English? What does it mean? The reason for the revelation. The reason for the revelation of the two surah, قُلْ أَعُوذُ رَبِّ الْفَلَقِ قُلْ أَعُوذُ رَبِّ النَّاسِ. In the two sahih from the hadith of Aisha radiyallahu anha, a Jew named Luhaydan ibn al-Asim, he cast a spell on the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. I'll repeat that. For those who have been affected by magic or the likes, listen to this narration. The very Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, the greatest of all creation, the most beloved to Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala, had magic cast upon him. A spell was cast upon the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam by taking the remains on the comb of the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam after he had combed his hair. After he had combed his hair, alayhi salatu wassalam, the remains were taken from the comb and a spell was made. He took a string with 11 knots. A string with 11 knots. And in it was pricked by needles. In it was pricked by needles. Listen to the evil of this item. Yeah? At that occasion, once that had occurred, those two surah had been revealed upon the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. When the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam would recite one verse from the surah, a knot would untie. Next verse, a knot would untie. Every verse that the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam he would recite, a knot would untie. And how would the Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam feel as every knot would untie? He would feel a sense of liveliness come over him. Up until all the knots were untied, the Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he rose, he stood up as if he had been freed from being tied down by a rope. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. That is the effect that the magic had upon the Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Think about that. Ponder upon this. That this was the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Yet all it took was reciting those two short surah, the last two chapters of the Quran, And that evil magic, with all that effort that magician had gone to, is all it took was reciting those two surah, and the Rasul ﷺ was freed. But how did he feel? It was a physical torment that he went through. It wasn't something that was just in virtual reality or in the mind. It was a physical torment. This is the Messenger ﷺ, who had the strength of more than one man. He did not have the strength that the strongest amongst us has. Yet he felt as he was tied down by a rope. Yet very simply, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allowed for that to go away. Jibreel, he then began to read invocations, ad'iyah, unto him. He would say, I read in the name of Allah, that by His will He will cure you from all things that harm you, from the evil of the jealous one, and the one with the evil eye, and may Allah cure you. These are from the very important ad'iyah that we teach our children, insha'Allah, in order for them to be protected from all evil, including magic and the evil eye. And what else is a remedy for us from sickness, from magic, from the likes of harm that may befall us? What is from the greatest of remedies for us? The Quran. Recitation of the Quran. Dua is also a remedy. These are from the things that we use in order for us to be cured. Some of the lessons that we may derive from this, brothers and sisters, is that we seek refuge in Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala from the evil of His creation very often during the day. Very often during the day, because evil does not want to sleep. It will take and use every moment of every day and every night to fight us, to try attack us, to try belittle us. And who do we have protecting us? Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala. With the protection of Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala, if all of mankind and jinn kind were to come against a young boy, if Allah protects even the young boy, could they affect him? Never will they be able to affect him. And we know from this that it is magic to blow into knots. Magic is what? Kufr. What is the punishment for the magician in the lands of the Muslims, where we have a Muslim ruler with a Muslim governance in the Muslim lands? If a person is found guilty of magic, what is their ruling? Death. 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 No human is to be punished by the punishment of Allah. That is the punishment of Allah to burn. We'll get to that after that, inshallah. Death is for the magician. How about if that magician makes tawbah? Even if the magician makes tawbah, their punishment is still death. Because the parable was used by one of the people of knowledge, is that the magic that he knows is like a gun in the holster. At any moment that person may use it. So therefore that person is put to death. If he has made a sincere tawbah, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will accept it and he'll go to Jannah. If it was a fake tawbah, he will go to Jahannam. And Allah knows best. What else do we know from this surah that is very important other than the magic? That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has highlighted as a disease. Envy. And that envy is not up to us whether we'd like to be envious or not. Envy is forbidden. Envy is haram. Is disallowed in the deen of Islam. It is a disease which destroys the heart. It made the son of Adam execute his brother. It made the brothers of Yusuf exile and get rid of their brother. It made Adam, our father, alayhi salam, be exiled from paradise. It caused him to eventually be exiled from paradise. This is from the evils of envy. Envy is not to be taken lightly. It is a disease which will overcome the heart, blacken the heart, and destroy a person from within. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us brothers and the sisters. May Allah protect us all from envy. Al-ghibta is not envy. Because the envious person, what is envy? This person wishes for a blessing to be removed from his brother. That is what envy is. He wishes for the barakah to be removed from his brother. While desire, al-ghibta, means he wants his brother what his brother has, without wishing for that blessing to be taken from that brother. Does that make sense? So when a person sees his brother with something nice, he's memorized plenty of the Quran, he wishes that as well. That's a desire that he has. But he does not wish for the blessing of that brother to be taken away from him. However, envy is when he wishes for that which the brother has, the blessing within it, to be taken away. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us. We also have learned that magic is real. Magic is not a fake fairy tale. And it is upon the intelligent Muslim to be wary of this harm, to always protect oneself from this harm. The one responsible for the evil eye is in the same category of the envious. The one who causes the evil eye to occur, the evil eye has occurred due to the envy of that person who has struck his brother with the evil eye. So the evil eye, it is true. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect us from it. And know that the evil eye occurs due to the envy a person feels towards the other brother. So always have love for your brothers, have love for your sisters. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant them barakah in what they have. Because what is the only way to protect yourself from ever giving someone the evil eye? By asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give them barakah. Ma sha Allah tabarak Allah. Allahumma barik, Allahumma barik laka fih. From these, asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give blessing to that person with what they have. The night is mentioned in the surah due to the evil that occurs in the night. And we've touched upon this, what evils come in the night. And the people of corruption, they gather in great numbers in the night, and the predators and themselves. Now I'd like to touch on one last thing before we wrap up this dars. I'm not sure what happens across the world, but it is often the case that us here in Melbourne, me personally, I've seen this, and brothers and sisters in Sydney, and probably across Australia as well, when they are affected by magic, or they are affected by jinn, or they are affected by the evil eye, they run to specific people that have become known in the community to help or give ruqya or the likes to these people. They go to them to the extent that if a brother is in Melbourne, he'll hear about someone who gives strong ruqya in Sydney, and he'll go and fly to Sydney in order to receive that ruqya. Or likewise, a woman in Sydney will come to Melbourne to receive that ruqya. Where have we found in this whole dars that it is upon us to go to such and such in order for us to get ruqya done upon us? We haven't seen it. Is it haram? Let it be clear. I want to be clear here. Is it haram to have someone do ruqya on you? No. I'm not saying that. But what I want to make clear is what is the best means in order for you to be cured from whatever has affected you, such as evil eye, jinn, or possession, or magic. What is the best way? You do it to yourself. Barakallahu feekum. As the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam done, as the Sahaba had done, as the Salaf al-Salih had done, you perform ruqya upon yourself. There are many ways to do so. Abu Khadija, if you look up on the internet, I think the article says 12 ways to perform ruqya upon oneself. It's a beautiful article. And you can give yourself the cure. Give yourself Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who cures you, of course. What I mean is you perform the actions yourself. And there's no issue with someone doing ruqya upon you. I'm not saying that, again, it's not haram. But what I'm saying, what is the best way is to do it to yourself. Barakallahu feekum. Save your time, save your effort. You do not need to go interstate. You don't need to travel to other suburbs in order for this to occur, booking appointments and so on. Save your money too, because some people, fraudsters, there are many fraudsters out there who claim to be those who are strong in ruqya, and they take the money, and it's from the advice of the ulama. If anyone asks for money, he's a fraudster. Don't take anything. Don't do ruqya from them. If they accept gifts, it is fine for you to gift a person. This is tahadu tahabbu. Give gifts, it brings love between one another. But if they make it from a shart of your dealings with them, that they do ruqya for you, you have to pay them, more than likely that person is a fraudster. Keep away from it. Barakallahu fikum. The best way for us to attain cure from ruqya, from magic or the likes, is by ruqya upon yourself. There are many means to do so. The class has dragged on a bit long tonight, but inshallah it's been much benefit to all of us. And if I can, I'll try to touch base on a bit more of this topic next week. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.